Let's start this video with taking something out of the way directly. The name of these goggles are just stupid. I don't know what DJI did and calling these ones DJI 2 when you have these ones that are DJI FPV version 2. So this is 2 and this is 2, version 2, but this is not version, this is only 2. I don't know. The reality is that the name is completely messed up. So I'm going to be referring to these ones as the new ones and referring to these ones as the old ones, so I don't confuse myself during the video and I don't have to retake all the clips. But when DJI released these goggles, I was super excited. You know, the next generation goggles from DJI, the giant. They have to be good, they have to be what you want. And then I got them, and to be completely honest with you, these are the goggles that I have to change the most from everything that I have. I own Walksnail goggles, I have the old DJI goggles, I have a pair of Fat Shark H2O, and these ones are the ones that from the very beginning, they didn't feel comfortable at all. And I had to do changes and try things to make them work for me. So I want to show you today what I've done and everything that I have tested, so you don't have to go through the same problems and maybe they can work for you. Let's start talking about the shape and the fit of these goggles compared to everything else that I have. The shape, it's really good. They are compact, they are small, they are light. You can fit these kind of whatever. And you know, something that I complain quite a lot with these ones are that they are huge. These ones, when you have these ones on, it's like you're like an alien or something similar, right? People look at you funny when you have those big goggles. But the new DJIs, they are very small, they're very compact, and the weight is also important. When you put them on your face, you don't feel that you have kind of like a bowling ball pulling your head down like with the big and old DJI goggles. Shape apart. The first time that I took these ones on, the first thing that I realized was that I have so much leakage of light on my face. The side didn't get close to my face at all. And DJI doesn't include any extra plates that can work with different face shapes, like in this case, mine. For me, when I got my Walksnail goggles, the only thing that I had to do was to change the foam, and then I had like perfect fit. The same thing with the Fat Shark H2O that I have. I changed the foam for something that was a little bit thicker, and they have been working like perfect since that day. With these ones, I changed also the foam to something thicker, and that was it. But in the case of the new DJI goggles, I tested, I don't know, something like 4 different foams, silicone, another foam, thickers, thinners, everything, and I found this one, the one that is working the best for me, the most comfortable. But even this one is not ideal. It's like I get thicker, then I get too far from the screen, I get thinner, they don't close enough, so they haven't worked for me. I have to actually add 3D printed shims to the sides to make this get closer and fit my face. I've heard a few people doing the same thing with these ones, the old DJI goggles. So again, this is for me, this is my shape. Blame it on my face if you want, but compared to all of them, I changed the foam, I put those shims, and now I don't have any light leakage. Links to these things on the description of the video. Then I'm going to talk about the lens protection. if you think about it, none of the other goggles, neither Walksnail or these ones, the old DJI or the Fat Shark, none of them have a protection for the lenses. And it's something that I think is important, because even if the box says careful with the sunlight that can damage your goggles, a lot of people don't pay too much attention to it. And the DJI new ones, they are the first ones coming with some plastic lens protection. Cool, they are listening. But you know what? Those lens protection, the original one, is kind of also stupid, because if you change anything, if you change the foam or you put the diopters in the DJI goggles, that plastic that comes original with the goggles, they don't fit anymore. It's like bad design. That's a bad design. They didn't think about anything that you could do to the goggles that would change the shape and don't accept that plastic covering. So that's something very easy to fix. I went myself, designed one 3D printed part that I very similar to the ones that I designed for the Walksnail, and I did something that fits with the diopters, because I'm using diopters with this goggle. You see, I use goggles, and it didn't matter if I changed the foam, it still worked. Link to this in the description, you can go pick it up. I did one for diopters and I did one without diopters, so you can use it, you can print whichever you need. Let me talk about the diopters now. I use goggles, I need to have diopters, or I need to have my glasses, my prescription glasses inside. And here came the first problem. When I got the goggles in the box, include this small frame for the glasses, which is really nice. You buy the glasses in a place where they can do them for you, and you just put them on and that's it, right? In theory. I got two problems with the diopters. One is that they kind of fall down sometimes. It's like the fit is not really good. And then the second thing is that when I changed the foam, this one that I got was like, it was all inside, and when I put the diopters on, it didn't fit. Like, there was no enough space. So I had to cut the foam from inside to be able to fit the diopters in. A little bit of also like a problem. If you think about the diopters that I have on the old DJI, these ones were perfect. They really fit and they don't move, they don't get out. They like, you don't even remember that you have those ones in there. For me, they have worked perfectly on the old versions, while on the new version, they fall down all the time. Also, I have to say something about the vision and the way these goggles work. I don't know, but even if I got the diopters in, I still can't see completely sharp the image. I have to choose either to see sharp on the center of the image or on the sides, but I cannot make the whole picture to be sharp. That was definitely not a problem in here, and definitely not a problem on the Walksnail either. So I don't know what's going on with these goggles that diopters in, diopters out, with all the adjustment that you can do with these nice knobs that you have here. I still don't see the whole thing sharp. I'm working with having it in the middle and focusing there, so I don't have to think about the sides. But on the side is where you normally have the OSD, and you have this information that I need to read. Battery level and GPS and these kind of things. And those fonts, I'm not seeing them sharp, even if I have the diopters. Tell me, is it happening to you too? Do you find the image to be sharp the whole around? Maybe my goggles are broken or something, I don't know. Of course, I'm going to have to mention the strap, because that's something that we sell here at FPV and makes your experience flying with any goggle much better. The straps that we have, different designs, they fit so far every goggle out there. They work very well. And then you can have different designs, and more especially than just the design itself is that they sit very comfortable. The thickness of the strap is such that it's not too thick like some of them that kind of hold your whole head. It's not too thin like the original DJI, which is like, it looks like a shoelace or something like that. And you have this little pouch or strap where you can have your battery hanging and even position the battery wherever you think that is going to be more comfortable for you, on the side or on the back. And there you have a nice design, comfortable and useful. Then let's talk about the battery. DJI battery, the included one, is this one. It's a very small battery. I think this should be 18650 inside here, but the time that you can use this, the flight time that you get with this, is not that long. I normally carry extra batteries in my FPV bag, because if I'm flying and I lose power on the goggles, then the fun is over. I normally have 2 or 3 different packs that I can use or change. But DJI did it again. With these goggles, they changed the input. They changed the barrel. So the cables and the battery packs that I had for the other goggles don't fit this one. I'm using the same battery pack for the Walksnail and for the old DJI goggles, and even for the Fat Shark. Those ones don't fit anymore on these ones. And something that is really important that you have to keep in mind is that the battery, the voltage that you can get into these goggles is only 2S, maximum 2S. The only other goggle that I have that is similar is the Fat Shark. The Fat Shark accepts only 2S, while the Walksnail and these ones accept, I think the Walksnail goes up to 6S and these ones go up to 5S, or the other way around, I don't remember. Anyway, if you look at the video, I did a video recently about what batteries can you use with your goggles, and I have this very cool battery pack that I have here. This one, 10,000 milliampere hours, and I have this one, the big one, 20,000 milliampere hours. Using the right cable, you can make the goggles, the other goggles that I'm talking about, I can make them work, and I have battery for a long time. But again, the cable for this one, the barrel connection for this one is different, so I had to go and look for that cable. Like you can imagine, it's not easy to find, but I did. And here's the thing, when you're using these kind of battery packs, you have to pay attention to what's the output voltage of the cable if you don't want to damage your goggle. So that was the other thing. It was not only difficult to find the cable, but to find the cable that gives the right voltage was difficult. Now I made it work. I can use either of these battery packs with my goggles. These ones are small enough that I can put it on the battery strap on the goggles, and they work they fit nicely, and they are not heavy, and I can have them on all the time. And this one is more to have in the pocket if I need. But again, this, I don't think that was a super great idea from DJI. But anyway, you can make it work. So my closing thoughts about this is the goggles, they're pretty cool in the sense of the image that you get from an O3 having OLED screens in here. that color wise, that definition of the image, it's really nice. The fact that they are small, compact, and they don't weigh that much, that's also really nice. But somehow I have to fight so much with these goggles, and still they are not 100% comfortable in my face. Like if you look at my nose, I have a little bit of a special nose, but the goggle still, like, it sits here and it makes it difficult for me to breathe while I'm flying. So my flying experience is not like the best one when I'm using these goggles. I wish that I had the actual version 2, because this one's to be here between you and me. This is version 1. The version 2 works with the O3 and people are happy with it. This is version 1, doesn't work with O3, and that's the reason why I'm forced to use this one if I want to fly something with O3. And I wish that I had the V2, because then I wouldn't have these problems, this push in my nose and the general uncomfortable feeling when I'm flying, that it's making me not want to go and fly with an O3. Also, I've heard from different sources that DJI is not producing anymore the V2 of this one, the old one. So if you have it and you feel that they work very well for your face, and you have the same problems that I have with this one, hold to them, because they are not supposed to be produced anymore, and that will force everyone that wants new goggles or that wants to fly O3 and they have the V1 to just buy these ones. There is some rumors about a new version, like a light version of this goggle with less things to make it a little bit cheaper, but the shape is going to be the same thing. And if that is the problem that you have, like I do, nothing is going to be changed on that sense for a while. These goggles are pretty expensive, and I wish that they work better for me because of the price, but this is what I have. This is what I'm going to be having to use. I think I got them to a place where they are comfortable enough, and I hope that any of this information that I'm giving here helps you get your goggles to a better position for you as well. Thank you for watching. See you soon.